So we're doing the Gabrielino Trail through hiking. It's Friday night. I took off work a little early and came out. It's probably a better place to end than to begin because they do have the pack station. So we're gonna hike into, I believe, West Fork, maybe Devore tonight. It's starting to get dark, so I'm trying to get as far as I can before I turn on the headlamp. And we'll go from there. It's 6:40 now, which means the sun should be setting in about an hour and a half at 8:06. It's gonna get real dark real fast. We're just gonna try to get as far ahead as we can before then. Specifically brought this headlamp for the red light function. I guess I grabbed the wrong one because, as you can see, there's no red light function, which is a real bummer. But anyway, just a little snack at Spruce Campground, which I guess is about halfway. It's dark, sun has set, and I gotta make some miles. 3 3/4 to Devore, 5 to West Fork, which is basically the same. So we may still make it to West Fork tonight. This trail is pretty overgrown. This isn't a lot of fun at night. What a beautiful sight. It's about 9:40 at night. First saw this post. I don't know if you can see it. This post here. Coming up the hill. I just spooked a skunk. That was a little scary. And then I saw this picnic table. I don't know if you can see these. This picnic table here, because you can come up here and have a picnic. You have to be crazy. It's another picnic table in case there's too many people who want to climb to 4,000 feet and have a picnic. Well, that's weird. I guess we're 1.5 miles to Devore, which means we're 2 3/4 to West Fork. I don't know how far I'll make it, to be honest. I don't know where that Mount Wilson Trail is. I don't see nothing that way. Alright, I'm gonna go find this. It's about midnight. Dinner is a north side with Spam, creamy garlic shells. I stopped at Devore, not because I couldn't have kept going, but I just couldn't see the trail. It opens up and it's sort of a sandy wash when you get to Devore, so it's too hard to see. So I just made camp over here by a stream, filtered some water, cooked dinner, call it a night. It's almost midnight. See what tomorrow has to offer. This is good. Good morning. I can't get started this morning.
I'm usually up pretty early and on the trail pretty early. It's 6:30. I'm just laying in bed, just laying in the tent, which, granted, I didn't get to sleep till 1 or so that's not very much sleep. But still, I'm just laying here. I've already deflated my mattress and my pillow, and I've unzipped my sleeping bag, but I've got it like, I'm holding it closed, cinching it closed. It was a hard hike last night. Right there toward the end, there was one blowdown. It wasn't a big tree or anything, but it took up the whole trail. It was a downhill to the right, like a pretty steep drop off, and no way around it on the uphill side that I could see anyway. There's a surprising amount of overgrowth. That blowdown trail needs some work. I feel like I gave my new Ohm 2.0 a workout. These Lone Peak 4s held up really well. I was very impressed. It's my first time, not just with them, but with any sort of a trail runner. And I was real impressed. They held up very well. I didn't miss the ankle support. My ankles hurt, but they always do. I have really weak ankles. Now, though, I am pretty hungry. I've got to do, I think, 17 miles today, which is my biggest day, I think, ever. I don't think the elevation is too bad, so that's good. This is where I was going to go last night. It's a little more established than where I ended up. It's got a pit toilet. It's got remnants of what used to be a parking lot, it looks like. An old forest road. Some regulations. My camp didn't have any of this, but you know what? I just needed a place to sleep. As usually happens in the daylight, the trail couldn't have been more obvious. When you get into a camp, you know, there's all the social trails, all the everything, just from people tramping around. So it just becomes real hard to follow a trail. Take off the Patagonia thermal weight hoodie and camel up. Call it a day. Nine and a half miles to Switzer's, which is like our halfway point. It's gonna be a long day. Past something called the Valley Forge Trail, and my map seems to think maybe there's a trail off to the right up here that goes to Valley Forge. I don't know that I'll walk through the camp proper. If it's 10:45, I'm at Valley Forge, and I left at 9:10 from West Fork. It's an hour and a half. Oh, there's the trail. It's an hour and a half to go 3.5 miles trail campground. That's 3.5 miles in an hour and a half. It's not bad pace for me. I mean, that's actually a really good pace for me. A lot of blowdowns I'm having to go over. It's probably been 6 or 7 blowdowns today, and the ones last night I had to do in the dark. Those were no fun. Starting to chafe a little. Wish I'd brought some Body Glide
but I didn't. Can you see all this red in here? It's all ladybugs. Still all the way through here. Even more. A lot of ladybugs. Starting to feel the miles. I don't do a lot of big miles. Even 2, 5, 6, 7 day hikes in a row is a lot for me. But I got a long way to go still. You seem astonished. 9 miles to Oakwilde. So I decided to come up at Redbox Station. There's a little American Indian Cultural Center. Picked up for my lunch a cold Diet Coke, which I'm going to enjoy a lot, and then a cold Snickers, which I'll have for my dessert. Man, that was a game changer. I had those, and then I thought I might even just go to Switzer before having a proper lunch. But I decided I need to sit down, I need to get off my feet. I just need to eat and be here and take the time. So that's what I did. While I was there, just kind of relaxing, I decided to check the elevation profile. And I noticed that 2 things. One, I'm at about the halfway point of this entire trail. The second thing I noticed is that is the highest elevation of the trail. So everything's literally downhill from here. Now, downhills are generally pretty hard on my body, but I don't want to kill myself during it. Like when you're gassed and you're climbing uphill and you turn the corner and you see another switchback, it just feels like it never ends. And so for me, that's really hard. That's really hard hiking. To look at that elevation profile and to realize that my climbing is more or less done. I feel really, really strong right now. I feel really, really good. 9 miles to Oakwilde. The pace I'm going, that puts us into camp around 5:30, which would be a really good time. Even 7, even if I'm off by an hour and a half. 7 o'clock would be great. Certainly before sunset. Switzer picnic area. Just put my feet in the water, laid down for maybe an hour, half an hour. Lost a little time, but that's okay. So this is the Switzer Falls Trail. It's a really popular day trail, so I won't be able to film too much here. Just a lot of traffic. Gabrielino Trail breaks off of the Switzer Falls Trail. 3.7 miles to Oakwilde. Oh, we've already done 1.3 miles. That's pretty good. There's some brutal exposure up here, but man, is it worth it? Are you kidding? Look at this. That looks fake. It's almost 6 and I'm not there. So hopefully another half hour to an hour. It's all downhill. It's pretty easy. At least it's finally shaded. Something to be said for watching the sunset too. Though I don't know how good a view we'll get at this lower elevation. Okay. So a little concerning. I can't find my campground. The trail is all like beach and rocks, so it's pretty hard to hide a campsite. following pink ribbons that people have tied to trees. And there seem to be, I mean, I'm on the trail. I don't know where the campsite is. I may have to circle back.
Good morning. I did end up circling back to Brown Mountain Road. I just couldn't find that campground. I don't know if it was taken out by the fire or what. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. But I ended up stealth camping by the river. Not a dream situation. I'm just in a really sandy area. Off the rocks though, so that's good. About 5.25 miles today. And then I'm out. I'm done. So, we'll see.
Hi. Good morning. Huh. Could have camped here, I guess. Or not. So this morning, I had my first creek crossing and the water was so cold. And so when it hit my ankles, it actually felt a lot better. Maybe that's a way to help. Lots of trail runners this morning. This part seems to be really popular for that. Once again, people of Los Angeles using their outdoor spaces. Love to see it. So this is all paved. High day use. Horses, bikes, families, hikers. Which means we're at about the end of our journey. I don't know if I recommend the Gabrielino Trail. Not a super well maintained trail. Lots of blowdowns, lots of overgrowth, a missing campsite. If you do it or have done it, let me know your thoughts. Love to compare notes. Later.